Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm very glad you tuned in again. So today's video is a very important one for me, and I had a deep urge to share that with you. Today's video is about your menstruation. And maybe some of you are wondering, what the heck? Why does she want to talk about menstruation and like all the negative side effects like PMS and crying and all that stuff? But I came across an article recently that really deeply changed me. I will provide the link of the article as well in the description box below, so please do yourself a favor and read it. And I just want to give you like my personal opinion on that and how it changed me and how it like profoundly changed my life. What it's all about is that we as women realize that we are dependent upon our cycle and that we have to live in the flow of Mother Nature and what Mother Nature provided us. You know, nowadays in our society we are so manly, you know, we are forced to always execute, to always perform, to not like to feel the same each and every day. And this is even made possible through the pill and all those chemical hormones, you know, that are given to our bodies. And sometimes women take a pill where they don't have their menstruation at all. So basically it's like energy-wise making a man out of a woman. And in my opinion, this is just so wrong. There's so much more to a menstrual cycle, the same as there is so much more to sex or childbirth or all those practices. You know, like God had something in mind when he gave a woman menstruation, and it's not just random that you have it. And to be honest, since half a year or so, I suffered heavy symptoms of PMS. Just for 2 days prior to my menstruation, I have one day where I'm like, everything is black, like the world is going down. Everything is useless. I'm crying. Oh my god, it's just such an emotionally crazy day. And especially like the last half year, it just got like it just got very intense. And I was wondering why that happened, to be honest, because I know how to like eat. I exercise, I'm very healthy and clean from the inside, so I was wondering why that happened. So I was thinking, okay, the reason must be a soul one or an emotional one. And then like on my last month, I had this symptom so freaking strongly that it even took me like 2 days. I was just destroyed. I was crying all the time, and I thought, okay, like I have to find a solution here. And then I came across this article. So thank you so much, dear God, that he's always providing me with all the information that I need. And in this article there was written that women work in cycles, in menstrual cycles, and those cycles are divided. Women are influenced by the moon. Your cycle is 28 days, which is the same cycle as the moon. And before, women had their ovulation at full moon and they were bleeding when the moon was dark. And there's even in our brain, the pineal gland have a sensor for the light of the night. And all of this was disrupted through our modern lives, you know, like living in towns where it's light all the time, looking at screens that are super light. And nowadays almost no woman has their menstrual cycle like the moon. And for those 28 days when you have those cycles, it is divided into 4 seasons. So the first week or the first season is spring. The second one is summer, having its peak with your ovulation when you are the most beautiful in end of summer. Then it's the harvesting phase, autumn, and when it's the last phase, winter, you prepare for death and rebirth. So basically it's the same cycle like everything, you know, and there's like a deeper, higher knowledge behind it. And we should, as women, really value those cycles and live according to them. Very often problems like PMS or having like all those emotional breakouts they happen when you not adhere to your cycles and you not live with your cycles. And for me, this is absolutely true because I want summer all year long. You know, like I'm very active and it's so important for me to always perform, always be at my best. So I don't really value autumn and winter, and especially not winter. And when I look inside of me, I know that I have these symptoms because as soon as I feel, okay, my energy starts to get less, it's turning end of autumn and it's starting to becoming winter, I refuse. I'm like, no, I still want to perform, I still need to do stuff. And this is the way my body reminds myself and forces me to stay at home and to have winter and to really like reflect upon this cycle. And it's forcing me actually, you know. And I realize that all of this serves such a higher purpose. If we just start to listen to that, we don't have to suffer that much. You always have to suffer if you refuse to listen. And that's why, and especially the last half a year, there were so many changes with my job. I started Happy Detox, I did the launch, you know, so I was always pushing myself. And my body said, no, girl, shut down, cuddle up, reflect upon the cycle, upon what you created, and just relax. And I refused to listen, and that's why I got PMS. And I'm so sure if you're super honest with yourself too, you will get that too. So what's the solution to that? The solution to that is to live with your season. So basically, spring starts with the first day of your period, where you let go. And as you know, like spring is the best time to also detox your body. It's the time when most people do fasts, you know. And there's a reason for that, because in spring we let go of the old and we plant the seed for the new. And very often what we do as women is that we don't want to bleed, we don't want this uncomfortable feeling and cramps and not being able to go out and have a high life. And we don't realize that there's like so much magic and hidden spiritual knowledge within that. So you should use this springtime to like really just be within yourself, listen to your own reflection upon what that month brought you, and just be totally within yourself and feel yourself and plant the seed for the next cycle, how you want to be, what kind of woman you want to become, what do you want to really let go of with your blood. You know, the blood is a very good transmitter, so you can let go of old beliefs, old negative energies through your blood. And this is basically exactly what I did the last month when I got this information, and it made such a huge difference. Because very often when we bleed, we don't plant the seed for like a new version of us in this new cycle, but we just blame ourselves, we hate ourselves for having those symptoms, and this sets the wrong tone for the rest of the whole cycle. So it's very, very important that you really plant the seed in spring on how you want to be this next cycle. And then in summer, when you feel okay, like the bleeding is less and less, I get more energy, more power, you can then start your new projects and go full force and be like fully engaged, and you will have creative power. You can create something completely awesome, you know, and then this will come to fruition when it's your ovulation. And I do it like that I try to like do the most important projects, and if I have like very important meetings and stuff, I always try to lay them at the days around my ovulation, because I know during that time I'm at my best and perform at my best. So the most important tasks I put there to make sure that I'm like at the peak of my energy. When it's time to harvest in the third week or in the autumn phase, you can do like routine tasks, you know. So I always try to kind of like elongate the summertime. So actually autumn is end of summer with me, so I really try to like elongate that. And you know, when it then comes to winter, you can prepare yourself and really look forward to that time when you are at home and when you prepare yourself for bleeding. You can do it as a spa. You can say to yourself, okay, I know I'm gonna have my period in like 8 days, for example, and then you just plan accordingly. You prepare everything, you just do routine tasks and like more lighter tasks. Don't exaggerate and don't push too hard, but rather create like a spa moment for yourself for the time when you bleed. So I was thinking, like, when it's not the time yet, but I have a plan already. The next time it's my period, I wrote down all the things that I love to do in order to pamper myself, and I will do them when I have my period, and I will be like super reflective, super intuitive when it's winter time, and I will write down everything, you know. And also I really have to tell you, the time when I got that information, it was the first day of my last period, and I was really trying to already incorporate all this information, and I got, on that day of my period, as soon as I stopped hating it and just fully accepting it, I got so many realizations about myself, about my soul, about where I want to go, what I want to let go of completely, what I want to create for the next cycle. It was just absolutely mind-blowing for me. And that's why I had this deep urge to share that with you, because we as women, we don't live our full potential if we don't step into our feminine power, if we don't step into this spiritual higher knowledge of the feminine cycles. So I really feel like we as women, we have to empower ourselves. We have to help each other out. And I'm so sure the world would be such a nicer place if we would value the spiritual power of the feminine and go with the flow, go with the cycle, instead of pushing like a man and just like pushing through and having summer all year long. So I'm actually very much looking forward to my menstrual cycle, to the next one. I will keep you updated how I did during that time. I just want you to become in tune with your own feminine power, with your own spiritual knowledge, and to get to know your soul, because your life will get so much easier once you really step into the power of the feminine energy and to really live this energy. Of course, there are also many ways bodily wise what you can do in order to get rid of PMS and stuff. So what helps me a lot is like drinking fresh pressed beetroot juice, and also having like warm comforting meals like oatmeal, like food that's for the soul. I love to cuddle up with lots of cushions in my bed with thick socks, and to really keep this area warm. Also the emotional component, to really treat yourself with your most favorite movie, to treat yourself with a long talk with your best friend, you know. Just do stuff that's good for your soul. Like, don't exercise like crazy. I used to do that before so often. It was the first day of my period. I still went to the gym and did weightlifts and stuff, you know. So I was really living like a freaking man, like not listening to my female cycles and female intuition at all. Especially nowadays, where more and more women become man energy wise simply by pushing and not like being within their self, being safe within their self. I really wanted to bring forth this message, and I hope you value it. I hope it makes your life easier. Try it out, to go with the flow with your circle and not push through to have summer all year long. And let me know how this is working for you, how you're progressing with that. I always love to read your comments and to reply to all your questions. And yeah, I hope this brought you knowledge. I hope it was valuable to you. And I see you next Sunday in full feminine glory. Bye, my loves. Mwah.